I want to tell you about the most disappointing day of my life. You might think it was the day I got fired, or the day my car broke down, or the day I lost money in the stock market. No, the most disappointing day of my life was the day I achieved my biggest dream. I was 45 years old. I had been working at a massive firm for 20 years. I started in the mailroom. I worked my way up, clawing and scratching, late nights, missed birthdays, skipped vacations. I had one goal, one singular obsession. I wanted to be the vice president. I wanted the corner office with a view of the city skyline. I wanted the heavy oak door with my name on a brass plaque. I wanted the parking spot right next to the elevator. I told myself every single day for 2 decades, when I get that office, I will finally be happy. When I get that title, the anxiety will stop. When I get that salary, I will finally feel like I am enough. And then, on a rainy Tuesday in November, it happened. The CEO called me in. He shook my hand. He handed me the letter. "Congratulations, Thomas," he said. "You're the new VP." I walked out of his office. I walked down the hall to my new corner office. I opened the door. I smelled the fresh leather of the executive chair. I looked out the window at the city below, just like I had imagined 1,000 times. I sat down. I put my hands on the desk. I took a deep breath, waiting for the feeling to hit me. I was waiting for the fireworks. I was waiting for the heavenly choir to sing. I was waiting for this massive wave of permanent joy to wash over me and fix everything that was broken inside me. And do you know what I felt? For about 20 minutes, I felt good. I felt relief. I felt a little spike of ego. But then, 21 minutes later, my phone rang. It was a client. They were angry about a shipment. And just like that, the feeling was gone. The anxiety came back. The stress came back. The feeling of not being enough came back. I sat there in the office of my dreams, making more money than my father ever saw in his life. And I felt exactly the same as I did when I was a junior clerk. Actually, I felt worse, because now I had no more excuses. I had run out of whens. I couldn't say, "I'll be happy when I get the promotion" anymore, because I had the promotion. I was standing at the top of the mountain, and I realized that the view from the top was just more sky. That was the day I learned the hardest lesson of my life. And if you are listening to this, I want to save you 20 years of running. I want to teach you the 5-minute rule. Here is the rule. If you cannot find happiness in the next 5 minutes of your life, you will not find it in the next 5 years of your life. Let me explain. We have this disease in our culture. We believe that happiness is a destination. We think it is a place we are traveling to. We think it sits on the other side of the finish line. We think happiness is hiding inside a new Tesla. We think it is hiding inside a marriage certificate. We think it is hiding inside a slimmer body or a bigger bank account. So we treat our lives like a waiting room. We hold our breath. We tense our muscles. We grit our teeth and say, "I just have to get through this week. I just have to get through this semester. I just have to get through this project." We postpone our joy. We say, "I will allow myself to be happy later." But here is the scientific, biological, and spiritual truth. Your brain does not change just because your address changes. Your brain does not change just because your job title changes. If your brain is wired to be anxious, stressed, and dissatisfied in a 1-bedroom apartment, it will be anxious, stressed, and dissatisfied in a 10-bedroom mansion. The only difference is that in the mansion, you will have more rooms to pace around in while you worry. I had a friend named Arthur. Arthur was the most successful man I knew. He was a multi-millionaire. He had boats, planes, 3 wives, and everything you could put on a credit card. But Arthur was never there. When we were fishing, he was talking about the fish we didn't catch. When we were eating a steak dinner, he was complaining that the wine wasn't expensive enough. When he made $1 million, he was angry that he didn't make $2 million. He was running, always running. He died of a heart attack at 58. He collapsed right on the golf course. And I remember standing at his funeral, thinking, here lies a man who spent 58 years preparing to live, but never actually started. And then I knew a man named Sam. Sam was a janitor in my building. He made minimum wage. He drove a truck that looked like it was held together by duct tape. But every morning, when Sam mopped the floors, he was humming. He had a smile that lit up the hallway. I asked him once, Sam, how are you always so happy? You clean toilets for a living. Sam leaned on his mop and looked at me. He said, Mr. Thomas, I got a hot cup of coffee this morning. My wife kissed me before I left, and I got to see the sunrise on my drive here. What else is there? At the time, I thought Sam was simple. I thought he was foolish. Now at 75, I realized Sam was a genius. He understood that life is not made of decades. Life is not made of milestones. Life is made of 5-minute moments. It is the 5 minutes you spend drinking coffee. It is the 5 minutes you spend driving to work. It is the 5 minutes you spend showering. It is the 5 minutes you spend reading a book to your child. That is your life. That is all of your life. If you cannot find a way to enjoy those 5 minutes, if you cannot find a way to take a deep breath and feel gratitude in those simple moments, then no amount of success will save you. You see, the coffee tastes the same, whether you are a CEO or a janitor. The sun feels the same on your skin, whether you are wearing a $5,000 suit or a $5 t-shirt. The laughter of your child sounds the same, whether you live in a palace or a shack. The raw materials of happiness are available to you right now, in this exact second. You don't need a permission slip from the universe to be happy. You don't need to wait for the promotion to authorize your joy. I want you to try an experiment with me, right now. Stop thinking about tomorrow. Stop thinking about your debt. Stop thinking about your ex. Stop thinking about your goals. Just look at the next 5 minutes. Can you make the next 5 minutes decent? Maybe you can make a cup of tea and really taste it. Not gulp it down while checking emails, but really taste it. Maybe you can step outside and feel the wind on your face. Maybe you can send a text to someone you love and say, I'm thinking about you. If you can do that, if you can master the art of the 5-minute joy, then you are richer than I was when I was a VP. Because you are free. You are no longer a slave to the future. You are no longer begging the world to give you happiness. You are creating it, moment by moment, breath by breath. I spent 40 years climbing a ladder, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. I traded thousands of beautiful, ordinary Tuesdays for a dream that turned out to be smoke. Don't do that. Ambition is fine. It is okay to want things. It is okay to want a better house or a better job. Go get them. Work hard. But do not, I repeat, do not trick yourself into thinking that your happiness is locked inside those things. Your happiness is right here. It is sitting next to you. It is in the air you are breathing. It is in the fact that your heart is beating without you having to tell it to. It is in the fact that you have eyes to see this video and ears to hear my voice. The greatest tragedy of the human condition is that we are always getting ready to live, but never living. We are like people who pack our bags for a vacation, drive to the airport, get on the plane, and then spend the entire flight worrying about the flight home. Look out the window. You are flying. You are among the clouds. I am 75 years old now. My climbing days are over. I don't have the corner office anymore. I don't have the big title. But this morning, I sat on my porch for 5 minutes. I watched a squirrel run up a tree. I drank a glass of cold water. I felt the sun on my knees. And for the first time in my life, I felt rich. I felt truly, deeply rich. Please, don't wait until you are 75 to learn this. Don't wait until you are sick to appreciate your health. Don't wait until you are lonely to appreciate your family. And don't wait until you are successful to be happy. Apply the 5-minute rule today. Find the joy in the ordinary. Find the magic in the mundane. Because trust me, when you get to the end of the road and look back, you will realize that the little things were actually the big things. The promotion won't save you. The house won't save you. Only you can save you. And you can start right now, in the next 5 minutes.